4th of July holiday. It's a time for celebrating. But our friends at the fire departments across the country, of course, are on high alert. They anticipate fires, and then somebody always gets hurt, caused by negligence. So here to help us prevent those kind of accidents before they happen is Daniel Anderson, District Chief in charge of suppression training with the Cy-Fair Fire Department. Daniel, good to see you. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here.
Absolutely.
I feel like a lot of stuff can go wrong on July 4th, especially with people, they're mixing fire with fun. What kinds of calls do you guys typically get around this time of year?
So on average, our normal call volume is about 80 calls a day. On the 4th of July, we see that spike to upwards of 140, 150 calls. The majority of those calls end up being structure fires, grass fires. We do see a lot of traumatic injuries that include hands, face, and eyes, and we see an increase in vehicle accidents.
Interesting. So it sounds like there's a lot that can go wrong. The worst case scenario, I mean, somebody could die from misuse of fireworks, correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah. How can we do this safely? I mean, is it a matter of just following the rules? Is it a matter of just staying away from structures? What can we do to make sure that we're doing this the right way?
There are a lot of things that we can do. Ideally, if you want to enjoy fireworks, the first thing that we're going to recommend is that you attend a professional show. That's going to be the easiest thing that you can do. They can worry about the logistics. You enjoy the show with your family. They take care of the cleanup, and you enjoy the rest of the evening by yourself.
Right, but you know, you got your weekend warriors. They love the fireworks stands. They want to do it.
Absolutely. So if they're going to do fireworks at their homes on their own, we do want to make sure that they take time to be safe and consider things like adult supervision. It's a huge priority. We want to take care of our little ones, keep them safe. They're excited just like everybody else, so they don't always think to look before they run out into the street. Sometimes They may not realize that they're too close to a firework, so we want to keep an eye on them.
I feel like accidents come from whether it's a misfire or, you know, I've lit a firework and I think, oh, it's a dud or something, and then I walk back over and the thing explodes. Is there any fail-safe ways to handle stuff like that?
The only choice that you should leave yourself in that scenario is to leave it alone and then spray it down with water to make sure, because like you said, sometimes they will go ahead and fire off, and it's right when you're standing entirely too close.
Is there safety equipment that would be sufficient? Gloves, eyeglasses? Is there anything we can really wear to protect us?
Absolutely. If you're going to be the person that's in charge of setting off the fireworks, you want to make sure you have eye protection, gloves to keep yourself from getting burned. Always recommending that you have a garden hose or a fire extinguisher on standby just in case.
Yeah. You guys maybe don't like it so much when we're out in our backyards firing off fireworks, but we have to be mindful of laws, right? Because every city, county, towns, everybody's different in terms of the rules and regulations.
That's true.
So what is it in your area?
So we're in an HOA and they have their own rules, but it's important to remember that a fire department cannot enforce HOA regulations. So even if somebody is popping fireworks against the HOA regulation, don't call 911 for that. If somebody's being excessively dangerous or unsafe, that would be an appropriate time to call 911.
And then at that point, we're asking for police?
Absolutely.
Because of a law or something that's being broken?
Yeah, an example could be somebody firing off bottle rockets towards other people, into houses, from a public roadway, things like that.
Right. You guys are there in case there is an actual fire. If something does catch fire, obviously we're calling 911 for you guys if there's an actual injury.
Absolutely.
Right. Let's talk about pets a little bit. I mean, the obvious one that comes to mind is the noise. A lot of them freak out about the noise, but there's a lot more to pet safety and fireworks. Tell me about that. First
and foremost, we want to keep the pets away from the fireworks. A lot of pets, mine included, is absolutely terrified from the sound of fireworks. So an easy recommendation is to bring the pet inside, secure them in an interior room farther away from the noise with as many walls between them and the outside as possible. And another thing that really helps is play some soothing music. Play it up loud enough that it's going to drown out the sound of the fireworks in the background, or maybe a white noise machine. That'll help reduce that anxiety.
And when it comes to cleanup, I'm hearing that some of the residue from the fireworks can actually be toxic to pets. Is that right?
That is correct. It's bad for them. It's good stewardship is to clean up anyways.
Yeah, right.
One of the most important things that we want to do whenever it comes to cleanup is make sure that we take the time to properly dispose of those fireworks. We're going to recommend that they be tossed in a bucket and completely submerged for a minimum of 15 minutes, but if you can submerge them overnight, leave them out on the driveway away from the house, that's going to give you the best bet.
One thing I forgot to mention, speaking of safety with regard to the fire and the actual pyrotechnics that people are lighting off, we tend to think sparklers are something safe. Oh, a kid can handle it, but those are burning at a really hot temperature.
You're absolutely right. And it's not uncommon to see kids running around with sparklers for that very reason, but it's important for everybody to understand those actually burn at well over 2,000 degrees and can very easily injure somebody. As a matter of fact, last year, 44% of all of the children that were admitted to the ER for burns were from sparklers.
Something we assumed was innocent, which obviously it's not. Over 2,000 degrees.
Exceptionally hot. Adult
Incredible.
supervision is going to be the best line of defense.
All right, last thing would be, and I know we talked a little bit about when to call 911, illegal fireworks in the sense of maybe it's not something we bought at the fireworks stand, maybe something's been imported and you're not really sure what the neighbor's doing or what they're doing at the end of the street. What do we do in that sense with when we're facing an illegal, truly illegal firework?
So if it's fireworks that you have, if there's any question, if you didn't buy it from a dealer or if there's something just doesn't look right, obviously don't use it. If it's a case of somebody else using illegal fireworks, it's really hard to differentiate what is and what's not illegal. So use your best judgment, always maintain a level of alertness, but again, we go back to if somebody's doing something that's dangerous, that's an appropriate time to call 911.
That's right. We need to balance that, being safe with respecting your guys' time and what you need to be doing, because obviously the calls almost double on
Absolutely.
July 4th. Well, Mr. Anderson, we wish you guys the best this week and hope everything goes well, and happy 4th of July.
Thank you, and same to you.
Appreciate it.